Right, welcome to round 2 at Royal Ascot, Jamega Tour. Yes, if you watched yesterday's, you'll know that yesterday I was having a bit of swing troubles, getting stuck under it. Spent a lot of time with Ryan after the round, just to try and get more on top of it, get the club moving a bit further left and keeping the club in front of the body. And we also did some putter work as well. So, going to talk through this round. As we teed off fairly early today, 8:30, you're going to see a bit more like forward golf swings, just driving the ball at target. The first hole, there's a sprinkler just left of the green, and it's landed on it and literally jumped 40 yards and almost gone out of bounds. So, not the start that you're looking for, really, on the first. But as it was, got it on the green, and this is the first time I've ever used the line on the putter, and yeah, it was a good start. Second hole, that dog leg round the corner. Just so me and Ryan do this thing where basically we practice with a rope. So we'll have a rope straight down the middle of the practice ground. We'll practice hitting cuts where you're starting it left of the rope and never crossing it, and draws where you're starting right of it and never crossing it. So on a lot of shots he says, right, your rope is the tree on the right, you're just trying to cut it and don't cross the rope. And that's what we did on the tee shot. Didn't hit a very good shot there, and left myself in like this dead lie again, which is you can't really see these. There's a lot of like bare lies around the greens, and they're quite soppy, so all you can do really is get the toe in the ground and try and nudge it forward. But anyway, had a putt for birdie, which sort of went in the wrong way. Second hole, hit this okay, just trying to cut it a bit more than I did, and ended up in the trap. So I've got, it's fairly close to the edge, so I was just trying to hit a 9-iron and just get this as close as possible. Just caught a bit too much sand, and left myself a little pitch shot, which is probably just a bit tame. But putt for par, we actually did a lot of work again after the round, just like cementing in these swing feelings and doing more short game work that just missed that putt. This is yeah, a lot of putts. You can see a lot of putts, just shaving the edges today. Third hole was playing downwind today, so it's a little 6-iron, and then left myself around 100 yards, which I've hit on the right line. It just didn't really release at all, and from there it's not an easy putt. Just like swung about 3 foot. I thought it'd just be a touch quicker. So early doors, I had this for par, which I hold. So hitting the lines on the short putts today for sure. This is where this is possibly like one of the errors decision-wise, trying to turn a driver, which I can't really do at the moment, which is great. It's great having a driver that you can't turn over, because I'm trying to play a cut with it. I'm just realising that more and more. So that hole called for more of like a drawn long iron, and just taking out a play that I'm not going to get there. But this swing just looks way more, the club looks like way more in front. Just trying to like nudge it forward in there. So I think that was about 145. Just didn't want to flirt with going long. So that was the shot from there. Left myself quite a long putt up the green, which broke probably about 4 foot as it released down to the hole, which is really good. Now the next par 3, this is interesting. So this hole I hit 4-iron yesterday, same wind today pretty much, and this one's a 5-iron, and this is what happens when you swing it properly and you don't add loft. The 5-iron ended up like flying the green, just like a proper ball flight, and that's what we're trying to get my ball flight more towards, is just like a piercing, penetrating flight, rather than it up in the air getting hit by the wind more, with more spin. This is just disgusting. I didn't have much pace. So yeah, that's sort of where we're working towards swing wise, and it's definitely feeling a bit better today. It's a pretty good drive. And last year in the sun this would have got about 20 short of the green, but as it is we're pretty much getting backspin in the fairways. Yeah, it looked a bit stuck, that one. Probably about 5 short of the landing spot, just spun back down. Didn't hit that up enough pace. And then had this for par, which hit the lip. Next hole was playing 140, but the wind was really picking up at this point. Well, to be fair, it's picking up from the start. So just trying to sort of like hit a forward little cutty 8-iron, just riding the wind in there, and hit a pretty good shot in there. I had a putt of about 20 foot, I'd say. This was swinging, I think this is about a foot or maybe a couple cups left of the hole. Again, this is a pretty good putt. I just missed on the right. Onto 9, par 4's going up into the wind. It's telling me to hit a cut here, just didn't hit enough of a cut. Literally setting up for playing, well, he wanted me to really get one going about 30-40 yards left to right, just to take a bit off of it as well, but got a bit close. Got a bit close to the hazard. Had to just hit this low one up into the green, which got onto the front, which left myself a long putt up the green. This is very, very uphill. I hit that very hard and just didn't get it up there, and then end up missing this putt. So 4 over through 9. Just a few shots being wasted around the greens. Free putting, chipping, pitching, just not quite good enough. But onto 10, it's like a low 3-iron. Left myself 138, I think. This is into wind off the left, just knocking a 9-iron in, but much preferring this golf swing. The club's like definitely more in front. Hit a good shot in there, and had, yeah, this is one that Ryan's basically reading on my putts today, and he said this was a tricky putt to read. It's actually straight. I've just slightly pushed this, and it's only like 7 foot. Birdie. This would have been nice to go back to 3 over and maybe get on a bit of run, but as it is, missed it. Yeah, it's not quite driven forward enough. But the miss was sort of like front left of the green, not quite in this, because this was in a rake track, in a very wet bunker. Just not a good shot. Yeah, just missed that one. So yeah, this is I'm just looking forward to the game coming together a bit more, and the scores coming together a bit more, so we can get a bit more positivity. This is a good swing. But the main thing is with these, like Ryan said, we chatted about this, it's like, he said it's not irrelevant, but it's almost irrelevant this year. We're just treating it as a year to just, you know, work on the game, trying to like get my game to a certain spot. So I'm going through a few changes. He sees me, he basically has a vision for the game, for my game, and I don't know how that missed, but it's just getting to that point, and instead of, like I said yesterday, like trying to find a quick fix that's going to get me around a golf course, we're trying to just think of the bigger picture and just treat this as, you know, experience, and just testing the game, working on things so we can get in a good place for next year, essentially. That was 180 wind up into off the left, into the off of the right, sorry. Had a fairly straightforward chip. This is probably like the only chip shot I hit over the 2 days where I got a lie where the ball was sat up on top of grass. The rest of them were all pretty much just like tight bare lies. And I'd say on the back nine actually swung it pretty well from here on out. Played really solid and just got nothing out of it over the next 5 holes. But the good thing is there's good signs in this. That the stuff that we're working on is moving things in the right direction. That one, so Ryan told me he preferred to see me like just hit like a little draw. He wants to see like most of my wedges like drawn slightly, just really like flight them down low, driving forward, especially with the green like contouring left to right there. But just missed that birdie putt. This is the par 5. This is quite a nice ball flight. So this is the 3-iron, just hitting it out low and flat. And then had still a long way. This is like 30 mile an hour into face. So then just hitting a 4-iron. Again, just hitting that low, flat, forward one. Which is literally the ball flight. The ball flight's where I'm trying to knock it down, is where we're trying to get my ball flight. And this is a wedge where, yeah, it's not driving forward, it's tilty, and we're going to talk about that over the next few days when I go and see him. Anyway, short game definitely looking a bit better. And then over the last few holes, to be fair, it is a once you get through this hole, it's a tough finishing stretch. This is, you know, 450 OB up the left. So for me with a cart, I'm just hitting it over that big tree and just letting it slide. There's quite a tough tee shot when the wind's off the left for someone that plays a fade. But made a really good swing there. Left myself 130, expecting a bit of a flyer. Didn't quite get it, hitting the 50-degree wedge, but in the right direction. Left myself a long putt. So this is all of, you know, 40 foot across the green, and this was swinging like 5 foot off the left edge, and I don't know how this misses. It like turned back at the end and just rolled over the edge of the hole for another near miss. This is probably the best swing of the day. That is literally where it needs to be. Little 7-iron driven forward from 180 yards. Left myself a look. This putt swung about 3 foot off the left edge. Ryan actually gave me like an unbelievable read here, because this moves so much, but again, I don't know how this misses. You can see how short of a tapping that is. Cheers. And then 18 was downwind, so it's like 270 to carry the stream running across. Really liking the look of that swing. Nice like 15-yard fade straight up the middle. Left myself 230, and the wind was more off the right heading up this direction, so he wanted me to miss it short left. In hindsight, when we got up there, probably could have missed it an extra 10 back to give myself an easier pitch. Knocked it just left of the bunker, which left me a bit of a funky lie, and having to just sort of like nudge it forward off the upslope, and had a putt for birdie. So again, yeah, it's moving. We're learning. It's a process. Not expecting the scores to be, you know, super low yet, but things move in the right direction. I'm going to try and catch up with Ryan over the next few days, and then talk through some of the stuff, and just have a video where Ryan just goes through like shots around the greens and stuff to help you guys as well, because the guy is just so full of knowledge, it's a joke. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next week.